Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about addictions in the restaurant industry.
What you call an icon living? Start a record label, Misfits just did it. Whoa. Nylon cover 5 minutes. Whoa, we are too hot in the business. Whoa. About to make a movie independent.
Addictions are very common in the restaurant industry, and the most common addictions that you will see are cigarettes, alcohol, cocaine, weed, and crack, to be completely honest. And me personally, I started to see more cocaine when I started working in the restaurant industry. And one of the main causes for people to fall easily into addictions, it will definitely be working under too much stress. Technically, we are forced to be like robots, making it our body, a little bit unstable and unable to properly function without needing some type of stimulant. Being overworked is another reason. I've seen people in the restaurant industry where they're probably the only cook in the restaurant, or there's only 2 cooks in the restaurant, or there's this one person that is doing most of the work, has been working there for years. There's so many expectations fall onto this person, and they tell me like, yeah, I worked 6 hours. I worked 12 hours a day for 5-6 days a week, and I'm strong. I got this. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But then you can see that once in a while they're doing some crack, doing some cocaine, and I've seen it. Or they're extremely addicted to weed. And I have seen it. And if we have not been extremely overworked, you best believe that people in this industry wouldn't fall so much into the addictions, right? And yes, we have self-will, and we can definitely choose if we're gonna get addicted and start a drug or not. But it's definitely, as human beings, it's very easy to fall into drugs when you're literally forcing your body, your mind, your soul to technically be robots, because that's not how we are. We're not meant to, go to work 12 hours, not have any type of attention into our own, self-interest or our own life or health or anything like that. Another causes of this addiction is peer pressure. And this is one of the things that kind of irritate me the most in this industry, and is that misery loves company. Misery loves company. And literally, I've worked in like so many restaurants where, especially after the age of 22, of 21, 22, I started to stop drinking as much. And I would go to certain restaurants, and it would literally bother me so much how I tell them like, no, I don't want to drink. And then they still bring a bottle of beer and they put it right in front of my face when I literally told them that I don't want to drink. And literally that literally have happened. And if it's not with that, it's with cigarettes or weed. And literally people peer pressure you to do, to be as codependent as they are. And again, yes, we should have accountability for our actions, but we should definitely not peer pressure somebody else to be doing, to be drinking or to be smoking if you already ask them and they tell you that they don't want to. And falling into the whole, racism category of this industry, that's something that you will see that bothers, I would say, a lot of my, white colleagues or white managers that I can tell they were a little racist, and they will be really bothered when I'm not doing, a codependency, or I'm not as addicted to to alcohol or cigarettes as much as they are. And this is not me saying I'm better than you, because I even got that one time, like they were asking me to smoke weed on one restaurant, and I said like, no, I don't want to smoke. And they were like, oh, do you think you're better than Alicia? Do you think? I'm like, it doesn't have to do with me thinking I'm better than you. I just simply don't, want to be doing, so many drugs, or like do it. I just didn't want to do it. Maybe I do it when I get home. Who knows? But like, I just, don't. I just feel like if you want to break a bad habit, the best thing you can do, it's like when somebody offer it to you, and you have the strong self-will to say no, then that's one of the biggest indicators that you're in a good path when it comes to, quitting some type of vices. And honestly, like, people really need to pay attention to that, all right? Because this industry is already hard enough, with a lot of things that come with it. And the fact that, there's some chefs out there, some cooks out there that are probably trying to make better changes for their life. And then you have other cooks or other servers that, are too caught up in their own self-power competition, that they're not allowing you, to really embrace that power that you're trying to accomplish for yourself. So you have to be very strong, very, like, if you don't want to smoke, if you don't want to smoke weed, alcohol, anything like that, you have to be very strong, and you have to not be like a people pleaser and like let all like be chill and hang out. Because at the end of the day, someone that is pushing you, even if it's in a passive aggressive way, but somebody that is somewhat pushing you to be doing drugs and alcohol, doesn't necessarily want the best for you. Okay? They might want you to do good, but not better than them. Okay? And 100% us healing ourselves, cooks and chefs, and being able to operate in a much healthier way with like clear mind, not thinking like, oh, when I can get out of here so I can, have a cigarette break or smoke weed when I get home. Like, some people, they get to work and that's the first thing they're thinking about. When am I gonna get out so I can smoke weed, because this job is freaking stressing me? Or I'm just addicted to weed or whatever. And as a general, I believe that chefs and we need to have a clear mind, right? Because when it comes to being a chef, there's a lot of things that you need to know, and there's a lot of things that you have to remind yourself. Different type of, techniques when it comes to cooking, different type of salads, different type of pasta, different type of pizzas, all of these things that you have to know, and even like, doesn't matter how old you are, you're always still gonna be learning, because this industry has so much to learn, and it will be hard for you to have a space for all that in your mind if you're letting your traumas, or if you're letting false ideology of what you need to be confident or go through life every day. Those are things that are gonna affect you for becoming an amazing chef. And yes, it can affect definitely any person from every career, but in this case, I'm personally talking about chefs and cooks, and also shows the way you interact with people. When somebody that smokes a lot of cigarettes, it's been quite a while without smoking cigarettes, they're gonna get, I don't know, it's like anxiety or something like that. So they might lash out at someone or they might not have so much patience towards like other people, you know, way of being and things like that. So you have to really think about that, and you have to really think about how much addictions affect the moral values of chefs, you know. And it's not about saying like you shouldn't do cigarettes, you shouldn't do weed, alcohol, or anything like that, but you should definitely not make them have control over your life, which is the most important thing. Like 2 or 3 cigarettes a day compared to smoking half a pack of cigarettes a day, you know. And also, like, we as chefs and cooks need to think about the fact that we are feeding other people, you know, and we are kind of like nutritionists, we're kind of like doctors, right? If we are not able to properly take care of our bodies and care about what we're putting in our body and how we are toxicating our soul and everything we make with our hands that's what other people are eating. So even if it's not the most healthy food, but if it's made with anger and the stress, it's not going to affect in a positive manner the person that is consuming your food. You know what I mean? Compared if you are making the food with, like, you know, positive attitude, with more ease mind, you know. And that's, you know, something that we need to think about, right? And like, talking again about the peer pressure things, I feel like people in our industry need to respect the boundaries of another person when they say that they don't want to be smoking, or they don't want alcohol, or they don't want anything like that, right? So that is my video, and I hoped it was influential, and I hoped it helped. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.